Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be doing a review on the Huawei P30 Pro. So I'm going to be talking about all the phone's features, its specs, and I'm going to be talking about some of the qualities that I think make it worth it to buy. Now I know my review is a little later than most people's. That's just because I think you need to use a phone for like a good few weeks before actually doing a review, because just doing a review within like 5 days isn't really a review, it's more like a first impressions for me. So I'm gonna be going in depth after I've used this phone for like 3-4 weeks. So I'm just gonna be going through everything that I love about this phone, how my usability has been with it, and just overall my thoughts while using the phone. I did do an unboxing video on this phone. If you want to go check that out, I'll have that link in the description box below, as well as the card up top, so you can go check that out as well. So the model that I have of the Huawei P30 Pro is in the color Aurora Blue, but you also have a beautiful breathing crystal, an amber sunrise, and a black. And the phone also comes in two capacities of 128GB or 256GB. So now let's talk about the design of the phone. So first we have the display, and the display has a curved design. It has a dewdrop notch at the top, and the back is glass, which is optimized for wireless chargings, and you can also do two-way wireless charging, so you can charge any other device with wireless charging on this phone. So that's always really cool and a nice feature that I love. Some more design features is it has the volume rockers and the lock button both on the right hand side of the phone, and at the bottom we have our speaker grills, we have the charging port, and we also have the SIM card tray. And the SIM card tray is optimized for dual SIMs, which is really nice if you are someone who uses 2 SIMs at once. The charging port is USB-C, and the charging is amazing if you use their wireless charger that they include in the box. I charged my phone from dead to full in about like 40 minutes, I think, and it was really amazing, and I'm very impressed with the charging speed, and that's always really convenient. Something that this phone does not have is a headphone jack, but that's not really a big loss since there are so many other options nowadays for listening to media without using wired headphones. So for instance, I have these here. These are Huawei wireless earphones. They are very reasonably priced, and they are really cool. So this is what they look like. They have other colors as well, but these are just the ones I got from a package deal, I think last year, with the Huawei P20 Lite. So this is just very inconvenient, and you have also other wireless options as well, but those are just the ones that I have here. Now, one of my favorite features of this phone is the in-screen fingerprint sensor, and this thing is fast and it just works really well. I absolutely enjoy using it. I actually prefer it over like the Face ID that you can also enable on the Huawei P30 Pro. I'd rather just use my fingerprints. This is my first time using it, so I haven't used it on other devices, but on the Huawei P30 Pro it is super fast and it has recognized my finger almost every single time. So I have no complaints about that, and I just really like that feature. So the Huawei P30 Pro has a 6.4-inch OLED display, so it is a very big display, and it's great for viewing content, for going through social medias, and just doing everyday tasks. I really love the display. It has a resolution of 1080 by 2340, so it has a great resolution. And just for like handling graphic intensive games sometimes, like PUBG I've played on here, it's very convenient for that. And something that I love to do is edit on my phone, whether it's photos or videos. I love doing that, and it's also convenient for that since it has such a great display. So that's something that I really like about this phone. Most of the time I don't even use the phone on full brightness, which saves battery life, and it's just not necessary for full brightness, and it's still very good. So yeah, you don't even have to go on full brightness for this phone to have a good display. As for the dewdrop notch on the display, it is so small and unnoticeable. It's not something to make a fuss about. Any notch is not really something to make a fuss about on any device. And this phone does have settings that you can toggle, so you can hide the notch basically, but it's not a big deal, and it doesn't come in the way of usability at all for me. The bezels on this phone is very minimal, so you don't really realize that there are any bezels in any case. So yeah, I love how the screen is so close to the edges, and it just makes the display look so much better with the curves. So yeah, I just really love the display and how it all blends in seamlessly with the body of the phone. Now let's get to this phone's main selling point, which is the camera. So at Huawei's launch, they really focused very heavily on the camera and all of its features, and they had the right to, since it has so many unique features and things that I think really make this camera great. It does have kind of a learning curve to it just to see how to handle every single feature, but I really love the camera and all of its features, so let's get started with what they all are. So this phone has a Leica AI quad camera setup, so it has 4 cameras, actually just 3 with a sensor, but each one has a different feature that makes usability great. So the first camera is the 20 megapixel wide angle lens, which is 16 millimeters. And I've enjoyed this, especially when I'm out and about and I want to take a photo of like my surroundings and things like that and get as much in as possible. I love to use the wide angle for that. So the second camera is the main camera, which is 40 megapixels with an aperture of 1.6. The camera is very nice on this phone, and just for a point and shoot, it is very nice. So the third lens we have is the 8 megapixel 5x optical periscope zoom lens, which has 125 millimeters and an aperture of f3.4 with optical image stabilization. So what that all means is that it can zoom up to 5 times without losing any quality, and when you go up to 10 times, it is actually still very decent. There is a little loss in quality, but not very noticeable at all. So yeah, that is what all of that means. So it has great zoom, and then the phone can also go up to 50 times zoom. Now obviously you're gonna lose some resolution when you go in that far, but it's very nice. I got this great photo of the moon the other night, a full moon, and that was one of my favorite pics that I took on this phone. It turned out better than I actually expected it to turn out, so that's something that I really like about this phone. Now the 50 times zoom is not for anyone. Not anyone and everyone is gonna use 50 times zoom all the time, but having that feature is sometimes very fun to use and just try out, and if you're lucky, you're gonna get a very good shot. Another thing they really emphasize on their launch is the night mode feature. So basically you can get a very well lit shot in total darkness. It just brightens up the photo. So this is just a really cool feature that you can use if you're out and about at night and you want to take a cool photo. This phone can brighten up that photo really well so you can see all the detail of what you want in the photo. So I really love this feature, and I just think this is very helpful if you're just looking for a good photo in the dark. This is a really cool feature. Now for the front-facing camera, it's not something they focused on a lot, but I just think it's worth mentioning. It has a 32 megapixel selfie camera, which is really insane, and I just think, hey, if you like taking selfies, this phone has a great camera for that. And yeah, so that's what the front-facing camera is capable of. As for videos on this phone, it really takes good quality videos. And something that I was super impressed with is the video stabilization. Here you can see a clip of when we went horse riding in Hartis. It is a place here in South Africa near Pretoria. So we went there and my dad took this video while on horseback, and you can see it was so smooth, and the video quality just turned out really well with the stabilization. So I was really impressed with the stabilization that this phone has for videos. Now the main focus of this phone is more on photography than videography, so I wasn't so impressed with the videography that like I was with the photography, but it was still very decent and you can take decent videos on this phone. Portrait mode on this phone is also very nice, and you can take very good portrait photos with this phone, so of a subject or a person, and when it detects a person in normal camera mode, it automatically just makes it like a portrait, which turns out very nice. So yeah, the portrait on this phone is also good. Now let's get to the performance of the phone, so how it performs all day throughout, the battery, the speed, everything. Let's talk about that. So this phone comes with 8 GB of RAM, and speed was definitely not a problem on this phone at all. it worked super fast for day-to-day tasks, going through social medias or just watching clips or things like that was very nice on this phone. Like I mentioned before, I played PUBG on the phone and it handled that very well with great power, and just for day-to-day things it worked super well. So yeah, the react time was super fast and going in and out of apps. I was really impressed with that. And just the overall performance, how fast it was, I was really impressed. So this is something that I love about this phone and that people don't bring up enough, is just the usability. So this phone runs with EMUI 9, which is Huawei skin on top of Android, and it has Android Pie. So the software is the latest and it just works really well for me. You have a bunch of things you can toggle in settings that just makes performance much better. Now, something that not a lot of people mention about Huawei that I think is something that other companies should look at is just some features such as taking a screenshot just using your knuckles, and just other gestures that this phone can toggle in settings that just makes performance so much better. You also have dark mode on this phone, which is very nice if you're someone who likes to have that feature, which just brightens up a lot of other things on the phone. That also has that. You can also enable an app drawer, or you can just not have an app drawer. You can select if you want the navigations buttons on the bottom, or you can just use gestures. There are so many things that you can customize with this phone that makes it very nice to use and just makes it easy to go through preferences. So whether you like gestures or buttons, things like that. I did do a video on the hidden features of this phone, so such as the double knuckle knock for screenshots and things like that. If you want to go check that out, I have that linked in the description box below, as well as the eye up top, so you can go check that out as well. As for battery life on this phone, it has a big battery of 4,200 milliamps, and this can last you an entire day. Now, I found like if I took a lot of photos in a day, because that's something I try to focus on a lot, was taking photos with this phone, just because of all the hype of the camera. It did eat up a lot of battery life, but it still lasted me the entire day. And then you also have like two-way wireless charging that you can do with other devices, and the battery just lasts very long, and the fast charger that is included in the packaging just makes the battery so much better as well. So I can just charge this phone super fast and then go again, like taking photos, things like that. So battery is something that this phone is great on, and that is something that I really think is convenient for people, especially people don't even use their phone all day, like heavy usage. This phone can last you like 2 days then. So that's really very nice of this phone, is the battery, and it will not disappoint. So yeah, my overall thoughts on this phone is that it is super worth it to buy, especially if you're already a Huawei fan. This is a very cool phone, and the camera, like I said, it does have a learning curve to it, but you can get some really great quality shots with this phone, especially with the zoom and the night mode, things like that. That is really nice. Like I said, I love the in-screen fingerprint sensor, so that just makes usability for me so much better. And the design is just very gorgeous, so that doesn't hurt at all. So yeah, these are just my thoughts on the phone, my review, what I think of this phone. Obviously, everyone has their own preference to software and camera and how things must look on their phone. So I would recommend you just try out this phone first, maybe go in the store and work on it yourself. But so far, I've been really impressed with this phone. I was just here to show you guys how this phone can benefit you if you have it. But then again, there are probably some other features that it maybe lacks compared to other phones, but I was just here to show you guys what you can expect from this phone and all the positives on this phone. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video interesting and helpful. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on this phone, and definitely subscribe by clicking on the icon on the screen. Click on the playlist to see all of my other tech related videos, and click on the video to my previously uploaded video. Love you guys so much, be weird and be proud of it. Bye.